Woo! Hey, great morning, you guys. Fired up. Even though for some of you guys it feels like it's an hour before. We had daylight savings time yesterday. If you didn't, no problem. And super fired up for a brand new week, you guys. It's a brand new Monday, brand new opportunity, brand new experience, brand new life. So we're fired up. We're going to be listening to one of the greats today, and nothing like getting back to the basics. So we're going to be listening to Jim Rohn talking about some life lessons today. So Jim Rohn, for you guys that don't know, and maybe you don't know Roxy now, maybe you're tuning in or watching a recording for the first time. Roxy and Aubrey, we're here from Los Angeles. We've been doing Triple M for about 3 years now, and what it is a way to get the week started. I don't know about you guys, but there was a time when all that went into my brain was music, commercials, TV, and movies. And I wondered why my life was a certain way. And you got to realize music, movies, TV, and commercials are all meant to sell you something. Whether they get you to buy a ticket, buy a CD, buy a movie, buy a shirt, buy a whatever, it's all meant to sell you something. So it's not really educating you, it's just entertaining you and really trying to solicit you, sell you something. And if that's all that you put in your brain all your life, imagine the kind of life you'll live. If you had a garden and all you ever put in it were like the newspaper clippings from the specials at the market on the corner, that's all you ever put in it, what do you think it would look like? Do you think it'd be healthy? Do you think it'd be vibrant? Do you think it'd be growing? Do you think it'd be lush? Or do you think it'd be barren in a wasteland? That's what your mind is. So I really commend you guys that are on live and watching the recording for taking the time to start your week, putting positive ideas into your garden of your brain, of your mind, of your thinking. So today we're going to hear from one of the greats, one of my favorite, Jim Rohn. He mentored Mark Hughes, the founder of Herbalife. Herbalife been around 37 years, #1 nutrition company in the world, 96 countries. So I think Jim Rohn's made a huge impact there. He also used to do his own nutrition company inside of a network marketing model when he was young. That's how he got to become a millionaire his first time. Ooh, what an idea. Number 2, he also mentored Tony Robbins. If you know Tony Robbins, he does a lot of huge seminars, a lot of great online YouTube videos. If you've never heard of him, check him out. He's been a mentor to many. And not only that, he's also been a mentor to so many Herbalife members and distributors inside of the company when he was alive. He passed away in 2009. So one of our favorites, one of the wise men. This is one of my favorite guys right here. Jimmy, let's get to it. My man Jim is ready to drop some nuggets on us.
Got Jimmy on my notebook.
So get your notebooks ready because we're going to be hearing from you guys after. And if you're at work and you can't share for some reason, no problem. Just make sure that you have your takeaways put in the comment box so we can hear what you think, what you got, your perspective, because it matters. So without further ado, Jim Rohn, Powerful Life Lessons.
Now here's the laws of wealth from 3 excellent sources. First is the Bible. Second is John Kennedy. Third is Zig Ziglar. That's good company. I'm happy Zig's here today. You're going to enjoy. The wealth formula. Okay? First, I've already quoted from the Bible. He that wishes to be the greatest, find a way to serve the many. So that's the first key to the wealth formula. Service to many, finding a way. Now, some may have a wish to serve many, but you need a way. So you keep searching till you find a way, because if you search, you will find a way to serve more and more so that your life will be greater and greater. The second, John Kennedy's inaugural speech. Here's what he said. Don't ask. Don't we wish that was the current political philosophy? Where is John Kennedy? John Kennedy said, don't ask what the country can do for you. No matter how poor you are. Don't ask. That's not how you get trophies to put on the mantle above the fireplace. That's not how you become wealthy and rich. That's not how you have abundance. Don't ask what the people can do for you, but, he said, ask, what could I do for my country? What could I do for my neighbor? What could I do for the people in my community? How could I serve more than myself? Ask what you could do for your country. And some people have found out a way to serve the whole country. Some find a way to serve a limited piece of the country. Some find a way to serve a few right around their neighborhood. Some find a way to serve working on a job, rendering a service. But that's the key. Don't ask what they can do for you. Ask, what could I do for them? Why? Asking what could I do and beginning the process starts wealth moving in your direction. Key phrase, whatever you move toward tends to move towards you. If you move toward intelligent, it seems now to move towards you. God says, you move toward me and I will move toward you. You take human steps, I take God's steps, I get there very quickly. Whatever you move toward, if you move toward success, success seems to start coming your way. So figure out what you could do to make the moves, to begin the early qualifications and then sustain the qualifications, and success is yours and health is yours and all valuable things are yours. Now the third, of course, is Zig Ziglar, and I'm going to borrow. Hopefully he wasn't going to use it today, so I get to borrow it. Zig's got the best formula put in layman's terms I've ever heard. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. Help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. When I first heard that, I underlined the word everything. And guess what I did? I went for it. If you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything you want. Here's another way to put it. If you help enough people get what they need, you can have everything you need. So you don't supply your need by concentrating on your need. You supply your need by concentrating on the answer, by the deserving, helping enough people. This weekend is another part of my life. Sharing, helping, translating my experiences by the best language I can choose, as awkward as it sometimes seems. Words are clumsy sometimes when you try to express what's going on in your head, let alone your heart. But I'm going to struggle best I can these days with the English language, trying to make it valuable to all of you. Okay. Now, start a little subject called personal development. As you know my story, I met someone when I was 25 years old. His name was Earl Schoaf, who dropped into my life at an extraordinary time. So key phrase, timing has a lot to do with it, and who knows, part of the mystery of time, the timing. Part of the timing one I just had that experience that I've shared in other seminars when the Girl Scout knocked on my door. And I walked to the door and she gives me the big pitch on the Girl Scout cookies, best organization in the world for girls. Got several flavors, time to buy the cookies, only $2. And with a big smile, she very politely asked me to buy. No problem, I wanted to buy. Big problem, I didn't have $2 in my pocket. And I didn't want to tell her that. So I did what I thought was next best. I lied to her. And I said, hey, look, I've already bought plenty of Girl Scout cookies. We've still got plenty in the house we haven't eaten yet. She said, oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. And she leaves. When she leaves, I say to myself, I don't want to live like this anymore. I mean, how low can you get lying to a Girl Scout? I mean, that's low down. I told myself that day, this will never happen to me again. One of those experiences. It's called like life-changing. I said, I'm going to search till I find better opportunities so my pocket won't be empty and the bank account won't be empty, and I won't be so far behind on my promises to my family. And it was shortly after that I meet Earl Schoaf, who taught me how to be wealthy, who taught me how to change my life. So who knows what the connection is, right? Someone says when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I don't know all the mystery of that. But anyway, it seems.
Hi there, my name is Sandrine.
And my name's Marilee.
And we're coming to you from our beautiful home here in Perth, Western Australia.
I don't know all the mystery of that. But anyway, it seems like some of those things uniquely happen. But it was Mr. Shope over a 5-year period before he died.
Let's go, Jimmy.
Some of those things uniquely happen. But it was Mr. Shope over a 5-year period before he died, 49, who taught me some extraordinarily simple things. He only went to the 9th grade in school, never finished high school, never went to college, never went to university. So he put his ideas and his experiences in very simple language, which I think for me, a kid from the farms of Idaho, that simplicity was so important. Because if it would have been technical, I'd have missed it. If it would have been mystic, I would have, backed away. But it was just basic, blunt, ABC, familiar stuff that I hadn't thought of before. And he did start to remind me, and those ideas changed me. Mr. Shope was the one when I said, this is all they pay. He said, you've been working 6 years, Mr. Rohn, how come you're not doing better? And I said, this is all the company pays. He said, well, that's not true. I said, no, this is my paycheck. This is all the company pays. He said, no, this is all the company pays you. I thought, that's a new way to look at it, right? He said, doesn't the company pay 2, 3, 4, 5 times this amount to other people? I said, well, yes. He said, well, then this is not all the company pays. It's all they pay you. And if you qualified, wouldn't your income grow 2, 3, 4, 5 times? I said, I suppose. So he said, we don't have to work on the company. We have to work on you. See, that was the beginning of what he called the phrase personal development. I told him things cost too much. He said, no, you can't afford them. I thought, well, that's a new concept. I hadn't thought about that. We put some of the valuable things on the high shelf, so you can't get to them until you qualify. If you want the things on the higher shelf, you've got to stand on the books you read. Every book you read, you get to stand a little higher so you can get the things on the higher shelf. See, I learned those concepts. It was so incredible. And here was the most important one. Success is something you attract by the person you become. See, that phrase changed my life. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Success is not something you pursue. It's like chasing a butterfly. You can't quite catch it. Success is something you attract by becoming an attractive person. See, those were new concepts to me. I'm just working hard trying to make a living. Here's what he said to me. This changed my life. I got a chance to teach this in Moscow and across Russia. 3 visits, now the 4th. Here's what Shope taught me. Profits are better than wages. Nobody taught me that in high school. Nobody taught me that. I went to 1 year of college. Nobody taught me. Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living. Profits make you a fortune. And how could you work on both a living and a fortune? He said, well, you could start part-time working on your fortune while you're working full-time on your living. I thought, wow. Now he said it's fun to get up in the morning, not just getting up, go to work to pay the rent, but to get up to go to work to make a fortune. First, to make a living for my family. Second, to make a fortune. And he taught me how to make both a living and a fortune. Guess what I did? I learned how to make both a living and a fortune. And I found out anybody could do it once they get the information. And at age 25, I started receiving this extraordinary information. Here's what he said. Your income is directly related to your philosophy, not to the economy. I thought, no one ever told me. I kept hoping the economy would change. He said, no, your philosophy has to change. I assured him that I had my fingers crossed. He said, that won't help. Then what could I do to change my income and multiply it by 2, by 3, by 5, by 10, and then multiply it by 10 again? What could I do? And he started giving me the disciplines and the process of learning the skills to change my life. This was an extraordinary man. Those were extraordinary times for me. Life-changing in every manner that you can imagine, but very simple ABC concepts. Here's what I learned. Not to search for the exotic until you've discovered the basic. And those basic philosophies that he shared with me during that time were life-changing. And he called it personal development. Now, in the understanding of personal development, let's go through it quickly. Some notes before we take our first break. If you're okay, say I'm okay. How many of you have 1 page of notes already? That's good. You jot these ideas down. First, for personal development, we must understand the law of the seasons and the lesson of the seasons, which prompted that first book. The first book of mine, Seasons of Life. Here's the phrase, life in business is like the changing seasons. Frank Sinatra used to sing, life is like the seasons. Next phrase, you cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. The seasons are set. As soon as we arrive on this spinning planet headed somewhere, that's the question to ask. What is the setup? First, so I can survive. Second, so I can succeed. So one of the first things to do is to learn the rhythm of the seasons. The rhythm of night and day. Day follows night. Night follows day. Opportunity follows difficulty.
All right, my man Jimmy broke down massive nuggets for us. Let's get into some takeaways. Rox, what you got for us?
All right. I love how I always go first.
Ladies first.
All right, what's up, you guys? Great morning. I love Jim Rohn. Absolutely love listening to him. His wisdom is like so timeless, and everything that he says is so timeless. So some of my biggest takeaways this morning, I definitely love the very beginning of it when he said, don't ask what the country could do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And not just your country, but what can you do for your community and your family and all of, like, whatever it is kind of impact that you want to make. But when you start to make it bigger than yourself versus, hey, what can I get? Then that's when you truly start to grow and life begins to change for you, because now it's just like, who do I have to become in order for me to become this kind of person for my family, this kind of person for my community, this kind of person for the country and for the world. And there's so many people who have accomplished that, and I'm sure inside of their accomplishments, they weren't like, hey, what can I get? Rather, who can I be for the world? So I really, really love that. And definitely I loved how you talked about if you help enough people get what they want, you can get everything you want. Something that Zig Ziglar says. And that's what I love about what we do inside of our line of work with Herbalife, because that's truly what we do. We either help people get in the best shape of their life, they get their results, they love the products, you can help people earn extra income if they so choose to, and you can even help people that so choose to create a career level income. But the biggest thing is to just help people get what they want, not what you want for them, but really get people what they want, and in turn you will be much more successful. And I really, really love that, because if you think about anybody that is valuable to the marketplace, it's always in the terms of giving people exactly what they want, exactly, and that's it. So I love that. And I definitely loved how you talked about success is something you attract by the person that you become. the more he's like, it's success. If you start to chase it like a butterfly, it'll elude you. It'll just go and you'll never catch it. But if you start to become attracted, if you start to work on yourself, you know, it's just kind of like whenever he had the job and his mentor told him, no, that's not all your job pays you. That's all you're technically worth, like inside of your job. Why? Because you're not valuable enough inside of your job. And if you're not valuable inside of your job, then you can't earn a bigger and higher income. And so think about anybody that is wealthy, that is successful. There's something about them that just like you see, and there's like this magnetism towards people that are successful. Why? Because of how much they work on themselves and the value that they bring to people's lives and the value that they bring to the marketplace. So those are my takeaways.
Powerful stuff. A couple of my takeaways. Number one, service to many equals greatness. You know, when he said, the first time I heard that, he's like, you want to know how to be great? He's like, okay, I'll tell you. Service to many equals greatness. I never heard it put in those terms. For me in my brain growing up, greatness was fast cars, lots of money, and living a fun life. That's what I always thought greatness was. That's what I thought the movie stars had and the athletes had and all the stuff had. So I was like, greatness is that. You're popular, everybody likes you, you got all this nice stuff. And then he said, no, service to many equals greatness. And I'd never heard it put in those terms. And then I looked at it and I was like, that makes sense. Any great figure that I've admired in my life, you know, the stories of Jesus, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, John F. Kennedy, Barack Obama, anybody that, you know, you've admired in your life, did they touch one person or did they touch many, many, many people? And it's the same thing I tell people when we're working with them inside of Herbalife, whether it's a client or a team member. I tell them, hey, your results are more than about you now. Your results are about your family seeing what's possible. Your results are about, you know, if you're a coach on the team, you're not just getting your results for you. Your results are going to give each and every one of your clients belief. So, yeah, I know you want to gain, bro, but nah. Most of your clients are going to come to you because they have a problem gaining. That's a problem in the country. So you got to remember, no, if you want to help a lot of people, you're going to have to shed some fat first. You're going to have to be coachable because that's what a lot of people want. And if you want to just help one person, that's cool. You can do that, but that's not going to get you greatness. Some coaches on the team will be like, yeah, you know what? I want to make about $1,500 to $2,500 as a coach on the team, and I'm going to help like 1 to 2 people. I'm like, what universe are you in where that is okay? That doesn't work inside of the universe. You got to help a lot of people to become a successful part-time coach on the team. You got to help a lot of people to become a successful full-time coach on the team. Why? Because service to many equals greatness. Do you see Apple on one wrist and in one pocket? You probably see Apple 1,700 times in a week. And you wonder why their stock is over $500 and they're one of the top companies in the world. Why? Because they serve so many people. And now on the opposite side of that, if you want greatness, if you want abundance, if you want to grow, you want to make a difference, how many people are you serving? How many people are you adding value to? That's how you get to greatness. I love that one. Next one. Whatever you move towards you. I like this one because I'm listening to Stephen Hawking's book about the universe. This thing is so high level, I'm only catching like 50% of it. This guy is just on another level. He's the guy that's he has Lou Gehrig's disease or ALS, and he's in a wheelchair, but his brain is next level, and he's talking about his theories of the universe, and he says one of the biggest theories and laws and principles is gravity, even at a molecular atomic level. Things that have mass create attraction. But what's so interesting, I don't know if you guys ever knew this, light particles and sound particles are the same. I thought it was only like objects. But light particles and sound particles are the same. They have to operate under the same laws, meaning gravity affects light and sound. That's why they call it a black hole, because not even light can escape the gravity of it. I was like, whoa, I never thought of it like that. But then when he said this made sense, because if it affects light and sound, then why couldn't it affect my behavior? Why couldn't it affect my actions? Why couldn't it affect my energy in my life? If it can affect light and sound, so that means the same principles apply. What you move towards you because it has gravitational attraction. This means, what are you moving towards right now? Are you moving towards abundance? Are you moving towards service? Are you moving towards developing yourself? Are you moving towards growth? Are you moving towards positivity? Or are you moving towards other things? Because what you move towards moves towards you. You can't expect to get to San Diego from Los Angeles and you're going east and north towards Bakersfield. What does that mean in layman's terms? You can't expect to get to abundance, positivity, and, a great life if you're moving towards negativity, negative talk, being around negative people, if you're not putting in any work, and you're not being coachable to get the direction. Guess what? Every time I log into Waze and Maps, I got to be coachable. Because they might say, yo, you got to go this way. And I'm thinking, I don't know about you guys, but I always think I know the direction that it is. I'm like, I could have swore it was that direction. And they be like, heck no, it ain't. So I got to be like, okay, I'm going to be coachable. Because what I move towards is going to move towards me. What are you moving towards? I really like that one. And then the story with the kid, the Girl Scout. And he's like, hey, we already got some boxes. I just haven't eaten them. And the reason I really like that story is because he said, hey, I don't want to live like this anymore. And I feel like sometimes you have to experience that to really get to a rock bottom to say, hey, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I experienced that one time when I was after college. So I'll give you guys an example. In college, me and the boys, we live in large. We got this 2-bedroom apartment, but we got 3 guys in it, because we wanted to be in the nice spot. So one of the guys said, hey, I'll sleep in the living room because it was downstairs. So it was basically like his own room. Man, we got all the amenities just popping. And then after college, the bubble burst. Meaning, I got to go get a real job. My parents were helping me out with some funds. My dad was like, no more. You out of college now. You got to be on your own. So now we had to go get a 2-bedroom in that not so nice part. It wasn't in the bad part of town or anything, but it was the not so nice apartment. And that was it. It wasn't bad or anything, but after you live fly, it's kind of hard to go back if you ever experienced that. And I was like, it was the first time I had felt when I would come home, I was like, damn, I don't feel like being here. It was like this energy when I would walk into the house, like, I don't want to live here. I don't want to be here. And it was the first time in my life I felt like, this is it. I'm not going to live like this. I'm not going to live here. I'm not going to have to live. I wasn't put on this planet to live where I don't want to live. That's not why I was put here. I was put here to live where I want and choose to live. That doesn't mean I don't have to do the work for it, but that does mean that I don't have to live here forever. And I feel like so many people get put in situations and they feel like they don't have any choice in it. I'm a physical therapist, so I see patients in the morning. I'll go to patients' houses, and I work in the South LA area. And I'll tell you guys, there's some rough places down there. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, people live in places like this? Now, if you got to make a stop there, okay, make a stop there, meaning you got to be there for 6 months to a year. But people be living there for 10, 15, 20 years. And where have you been living for a year, 2, 3 years? And maybe it's not a place. Maybe it's at a certain income level. Maybe it's in a certain relationship. Maybe it's in a circle of friends. Maybe it's at a certain job. Where have you been living at where you're like, yo, I deserve more than this? And when are you going to get to a point when you're like, I don't want to live like this anymore? I got to figure out a way to get out of this. I got to figure out a way to move forward from this. I tell you guys, I meet so many people. I don't know if it's an LA thing. I don't know what it is. But a lot of people in the LA region that are younger, 20s and mid-20s, still live with their parents. And I don't mean to badmouth anybody or make you feel bad, but what I will say is, when are you going to decide to get out? Because one thing I've seen, and it's one of the toughest things, is that there's a lot of seniors in the South LA region that got a house when it was more affordable to get a house, and then guess who lives in the house now? Their kids and their grandkids. And they're like 30, 35, sometimes older, with multiple grandkids. I'm like, when are you going to get out and get a house? I was talking to my little brother. I was like, yo, when you know you going to go to college, you going to get out? He's like, no, I'm going to just wait for mom and dad to pass me the house. I'm going to stay here. I'm like, hell no, you ain't. You going to get out. Because you got to go live your life. Where are you going to go live your life? When are you going to say, hey, this isn't going to be the life for me? I'm not going to settle for this. I don't want to live like this anymore. And then he said, I started looking. And that's when he found Urshel, his mentor. And he actually started a nutrition company. It was called Abunda Vita. It was a network marketing nutrition company. He went from 25 years old, broke, 31 years old, a millionaire. Put in that work. When are you going to look for that opportunity? Maybe you found it. You're a coach on the team or checking it out. You're like, dang, I can't live like this anymore. Let's get it. You got it. You found it. All right, let's get into some shares. Who's got a share? Give me a smile, a thumbs up. Just look at me, and I'm going to call on you. Who's got one for us? I know a lot of people at work right now. A lot of people are wiping the cold out of their eye. Let's get it. Mo Yim, what you got for us?
Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Moses. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and Roxy kind of touched on it. It's one of my biggest takeaways from this particular Jim Rohn video. First, I love Jim Rohn. He was one of the first personal development speakers that I started listening to, him and Les Brown. And honestly, when I saw a picture of Jim Rohn, I did not expect that that's what he looked like. But yeah, Uncle Jimmy, man, always dropping mad nuggets. And my biggest takeaway, Roxy kind of touched on it a little bit, was, you attract success. You don't catch it, right? And so, just doing little things every day, those little things, he always says everything matters, and just adding up those little successes, waking up, making your bed, having your shake, doing the little things that kind of set your day up for success, that make you feel good and make you feel like, you're accomplishing something. Those start to add up, and then all of a sudden it's easy to talk to that one person that you talk to, and then it's easy to, come from a place, like all of a sudden it just like seems like everything's coming to you, but you got to do those little things, and success is something that you attract. Always a huge takeaway for me.
Love that. It is something you attract, not something you achieve. I really actually like it because I'm reading Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil, and he talks about his early career when he was getting all these jobs at advertising agencies, and he bought companies, and every time he would just leave them. He's the guy that wrote Think and Grow Rich. I worked with Andrew Carnegie, and he said every time he would get a success, he would just leave out of nowhere, and people thought he was crazy, and he honestly thought he was crazy too. He was like, why do I keep doing this? And when he came to his realization, he said, he called it his other self, but he said he had an epiphany. He said, money will never make you happy. You've been running from your purpose and your mission, and that's why you're unhappy. Here it is. You're going to sit down and write out these success philosophies after interviewing successful and non-successful people, and you're going to put them together into a philosophy. That's why you were put here, and you wouldn't be happy until you got to your mission. No amount of money will make you happy. And it was really powerful for me because I think about it. Money, they say you want to figure it out for yourself, but I've heard so many people say it, and Roxy and I are doing pretty well. Money will never make you happy, no matter how much money you have, because it's about how you are progressing and growing. And in the earlier you can know that, you don't have to waste all this time. I'm not saying don't get money and be abundant, but I am saying remember that that's not the end point. The end point isn't to die with a lot of money. The end point is to become the best you can, providing the most service you can. So that was powerful because you attract it and you become it on a daily basis. Let's get one more share. Give me a smile, thumbs up if you want to share. Let's get it. I'm looking for people. Our money, give it to me. Let's get it. What you got?
What's up, guys? It's Armani. I didn't get to write down too many notes. I was taking my sister to school, but so I love Jim Rohn, and he's one of the first personal development speakers I started listening to as well. My sponsor showed me him, and it's funny. He has a shirt with him on his too. Like he has a Mark Hughes shirt and a Jim Rohn shirt. So I always ask him like, "Oh, who's that guy? Why do you wear him?" And after I first listened to him. Jim Rohn, the way he talks, it really does hit you in a way that, like, you remember what he says. And a couple of things that, because I think I've heard this one before as well, when he talks about the Girl Scout cookie that, I think it was in the same video where he asked, his mentor asked him, "Do you have a financial goal?" And he was like, "Not really." And he was just like, "Well, that's probably why you don't have a financial freedom or a financial, you have more in the bank, you know." So with Jim Rohn, biggest takeaway is just always to grow. And I didn't get to write down too many notes, honestly, for the video. But like you said about the attraction, like you attract success. You know, if you're fronting all on social media, people can tell that's not you. So if you're real, and it's your real post, then you'll attract that without even trying to really target somebody. That's kind of what I got from that takeaway.
Dope. Love it. Absolutely. And I do remember that one where he's like, "Yo, do you have a financial goal?" He's like, I can bet your bank account within $100." And he did. And Jim was like, "Damn, this dude is psychic." He's like, "Nah, bro. I just know if you ain't got no goals, this is probably where you at." So awesome, man. You guys, great takeaways today. I know we went a little over, but Jim Rohn dropped some major nuggets on us. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in live. Thank you for watching the video on the recording if you're watching. And keep paying it forward. Keep letting people know what you got from this. Repost the flyer, repost your biggest nuggets, repost the video once I upload it to Facebook, and let people know. Because if you're the only one getting nuggets and nobody around you is getting nuggets, you ain't got no nuggets because you live in your relationships. So pay it forward. Let's all start everybody on an amazing week. We got service too many to get to, you guys, because we got greatness to be and become. So I'm going to unmute everybody. Give me some energy. Where you at? Let's get to work. Let's get to work. It's Monday. Let's work, y'all. Peace. Wipe the cold out your eyes. I know it's daylight savings, but it's time to get to work. Let's get it, y'all. Peace out.